Howdy. You're going to hear me talk about Red Cliff, Part 1. An excellent film. I give it a 9. A solid 9. It's epic. It's kung fu action greatness. It's fantastic. It's John Woo's best film. It's just really, really, really good. I give it a 9. It tells the story of China's Civil War in 208 AD. It's an epic tale. It was released as 2 films in China. This one came out at the end of 2008. Red Cliff Part 2 came out at the beginning of 2009. So I'm reviewing them as a separate experience since that's how they were released. In America, it came out as just Red Cliff at the end of 2009. Basically what they did was take a 4.5 hour movie, which if you put 1 and 2 together, it's like 4.5 hours. And they cut 90 minutes out, released it as a 3-hour Red Cliff, American version. That 3-hour version I saw in the theater. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was great. Thought it was one of the best movies of 2009. John Woo's best film, easily his best film since The Killer. And now that I've watched this, I think it is better than The Killer. But, wow. This is, I mean, it's John Woo at his best. If you've ever even halfway liked a John Woo film, this is, I mean, this is great. I mean, this is great. It's a great film done by a master filmmaker. So it's important to see. I think you should see it. Already the divided experience, Part 1 and Part 2, is better. I immediately want to see Part 2. I mean, as soon as Part 1 ended, I wanted to see Part 2. So it did a great job of that. It tells the first half of this story just perfectly. 2.5 hours, you know, fly by. 2 hours, 20 minutes fly by. My general nutshell quote for Red Cliff when I saw it in the theater was, how does a 3-hour movie feel like an hour and a half? You know, it just goes by super fast, lots of action. Again, this is what Gladiator wants to be. You know, movies like that try and have an epic scope to them. This sets a bar. This sets a bar, and I mean, I you know, and I'm pumped to see the second half. The first half is great. It's a 9, and I'm raring to go to see the second half, and I have the second half, and I'm gonna watch it soon. It took forever to make. It was a huge production. I mean, this is like Cecil B. DeMille stuff from John Woo. A cast of thousands, you know, animated battle scenes that are just amazing. It's a kung fu movie. It's an action movie. It still plays to those action movie rules. I mean, one guy kills 1,000 guys with a baby strapped to him. I mean, that's awesome. Typical John Woo stuff here. Lots of slow motion. Lots of pigeons. Lots of fabrics blowing in the wind in slow motion. So, I mean, it's your standard John Woo film, but it's like taken to the turn to 11. John Woo turned to 11. It's just really good. All the acting is great. I can tell you that Tony Leung and Takeshi Kaneshiro are in it. I don't know who they are, but I'm no expert of Chinese film, but I recognized several faces. I know for one, the princess is the girl from Shaolin Soccer, and she looks amazing in this. She's beautiful. And I recognize maybe two other faces from films that I've seen in, numerous times. So this is, a big deal for Chinese film, I would think. I've never seen a Chinese film like it. And again, it's historical, and certainly it's mythologized somewhat. It is taken from a book. Let me see if I can find the name of the book. I can't. But it's an adaptation of a novel that tells the story of this civil war in 208 AD. And it's spectacular. Again, I've only seen part one, but I did see the American cut, and that was fantastic. This is so far better. I give Red Cliff Part 1 a 9. I think it's a must-see. And it looks beautiful on Blu-ray. And on my big screen, it just... oh, it's great. You need to see Red Cliff. Rent it right away. Thanks.